Hello, and welcome to this channel. And today, I'm reacting to a new channel called The Darkest Secret. This is 5 paranormal videos caught on live television. Now, it's only an 11-minute video, so it won't be long. This one, but we'll see. Depends if I need to fill in bits in. But anyway, so let's do this.
One of the branches of the paranormal that I like the most are those that occur by accident, that you can tell that they were not staged. Things like that usually happen when the main subject is an animal. You cannot fake the reaction of fear in an animal, unless you are an experienced movie animal trainer, something very unlikely for home videos. Another place where one cannot fake something paranormal is on live television, when the news is being broadcasted and the paranormal makes itself present. That's what you will see in this video. Paranormal recordings that by the mere chance of occurring in a controlled environment should never have happened. My name is Leonore Clay, and this is The Darkest Secret. Today we present 5 paranormal videos captured on live television.
Oh, and also the link to the channel is in the description below, as with all the videos we're to, so go check them out.
Number 5. There are many conspiracy theories of global implications. In fact, more and more people are following them. The establishment of a new world order, that the moon is false, that the current pandemic is nothing more than a cheap excuse to keep the population under control. Things of this type are what attract those who claim to see beyond what is shown to us. However, the oldest of the conspiracies speak of a race of extraterrestrial origin that among the shadows maintain control of this planet, beings that hold high positions of power and that hide under highly elaborate disguises. Although there has never been concrete evidence of that, experts in this matter maintain that on several occasions this has been proven. For example, one of these supposed pieces of evidence was recorded some time ago in a live broadcast by Dr. Anthony Fauci.
Is this the reptilian thing?
One of the main members of the White House Coronavirus Task Force, in the middle of a public statement that he made on television, as you will see below. Watch. Could this be considered evidence? Although as far-fetched as that theory sounds, you cannot deny that the image is striking. It seems that the skin on his neck has literally detached from the rest of his body, as if it were part of a mask. Could it just be stretched skin due to old age? Or are all those conspiracy stories right? Could Dr. Fauci be one of these
Or, because, at first I was going to say, because a lot of the reptilian footage you see on the, do I believe in it? I'm sceptical, but if one shapeshifted in front of me, it wouldn't surprise me. You know what I mean? Because out in the grand calculus of the universe, there's going to be a planet where there's reptiles. You know what I mean? There's the whole idea of, the dinosauroid, which, apparently showed what the Troodon, for example, would look like if it evolved, if it had the chance to evolve, if it didn't get wiped out by the asteroid, which is interesting because I always thought, well, hang on a second, if the dinosaurs evolved into birds and had that freedom, space, because don't forget there was a lot of, the planet was uninhabitable for a very long time. It was only because we survived because our ancestors who were rodents, who lived underneath, the mammals who lived under the ground, eating bugs and stuff. Calling, I could be, forgive me if I'm wrong, but that's what they taught us at school, and taught, said in these documentaries, it's got the K2 event or something like And for me, I always think, well, to be fair, if the, it's not as if the T-Rex saw, I know that it was the T-Rex was at one of those stages before the extinction event, but it's not as if a carnivore decided to flap its little arms and run and fly off. It wouldn't matter if it flew off because it literally, caked the whole planet, boiled the oceans. That's why I'm surprised that anything in the ocean survived. There is speculation saying there's a portion of the Earth that survived. Even though it covered the globe, it wasn't so intense. Like you have because even though it was like 100 billion or something megatons of atomic explosions, they reckon somewhere, I think it was is it New Zealand area, Australia area? I can't remember, somewhere where it wasn't so intense. I think, but then again, it comes back to Noah's Ark thing, isn't it? Did a T-Rex ancestor come away from America down to Australia like that? Yes, it was one landmass, but it wasn't always a big landmass. It did break up. It was broken up around dinosaur time. You know what I mean? So I always thought, well, hang on a second. To be fair though, if a scientist says it could happen like this, then why didn't Troodon or the descendants of, you know what I mean? You still get that? I'm not saying that's what I think. I'm just saying I always found it interesting that if there was that large gap, because clearly, as I said, if the dinosaurs didn't get hit by a meteorite, what could happen? They would have, because the theory was, especially amongst some scientists, is that if you get a planet where you had dinosaurs and it didn't hit, that would give them hundreds of millions of years to evolve. So they speculate they might be humanoid. Well, where did the bloody birds come from? You know what I mean? You saying they did survive, but they evolved into birds. If there's a slim chance out of God knows how many probabilities, or if there's a chance that one of them could have become humanoid, because you sort of get at, if there's a chance that, if you're saying that there was a big enough window for them to evolve into birds, even though ironically there were birds around during dinosaur times, because part of me is a bit sceptical with that. To be fair, I know it's an official theory, but I'm sceptical of that because I kind of think it's like, well, it's just we don't like the ideas of you could still have a descendant of something like a genetic descendant, but I still think it's us being wishful thinking. We don't want to accept that dinosaurs are gone, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? Because all things go extinct. But I find it interesting because it's like, well, if there's a large enough window for them, because don't forget, evolution takes hundreds of thousands of millions of years, up to hundreds of millions of years. If it takes that, if they had that enough window of that gap to become birds, you know what I mean? So, yeah, I'm not saying reptilians are true. I'm just saying it's like V. People go, oh, they took the idea from V, but then again, V took the scientific theory. But basically, sorry, I've sort of deviated from the slight point I was going to make about the dinosauroid. That was actually not just a model of what would happen if dinosaurs evolved, but also a model for extraterrestrials. Because either going to have something, they reckon. Because the thing is, but they always bang about aliens, planets being like ours. But when you look at nature, the most dominant animals are probably going to be insects, reptiles. So you can have something like that, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? But yeah, a lot of these videos, the reptilian videos, are camera distortion and stuff like that. I think probably explain it. I think it could either be a vest, or it could be something the color pixels. I don't know, something to do with the camera. You know what I mean? But I think it's a bit of a stretch. It does look like, if you were to say, or if you're really like glued into it, it does look like the bottom of those masks or something. But I reckon it's something to do with a camera, or he's wearing a vest or something. Because it happens because it's odd that his skin isn't like scaly or green. It's the same colour as the tie. That line is the same colour as the tie. So it could be his tie.
Beings. Tell me what you think.
His tie's getting pulled up.
Number 4.
I know what you're going to say, but there's a bit of cloth there in it because it's underneath the collar. I know. But you know what I mean?
The following recording arrived in my email thanks to Eduardo Lopez, a regular subscriber who tells that one day, while watching the news that was covering the wake of a well-known authority in Brazil, he was surprised when in fractions of a second the camera managed to record an extremely strange moment. What did it record? See for yourself.
E ex-deputado estadual Juca Gama. Juca tinha 63 anos e exerceu o mandato por 4 anos.
Although there have been recordings of people coming back to life after being put in a coffin, it's hard to assume that this is one of those cases. One could fall into many explanations. A shadow, a distortion in the image, or some other random situation. However, Eduardo
could be a reflection of someone walking past on the gold cross, because it is a metallic surface. Plus, don't forget, there's stories there of people come out from the dead where either misdiagnoses or medical conditions where the heartbeat's so low that they presume you're dead. Then you wake up underground going, "Oi!" That's why they used to put bells. People used to say it's because of because of vampires and all that sort of nonsense. But no, I mean, they used to be. That's why I used to have bells sometimes in the coffin, so it was giving you a window of opportunity to go get me out of this thing.
Has no doubts, affirming that what can be seen coming out of the coffin corresponds to part of the head of the deceased man, a person who was buried live on television and who since then has been lying dead in a local cemetery. Could this be possible? Without a doubt, a very surprising event. Number 3.
Does look like a head bobbed up, doesn't it? But yeah, no. I think it could be a reflection of the gold.
From Peru, Indira Fuentes, a faithful...
People are glued to their phone and love their phones. I do like my phone, but I'm not that glued to it. Like, I do acknowledge people around me. I wish I could be... I know it sounds horrible, but considering the people I have to deal with in my job on a regular basis, I'd love to just be able to switch my brain off, but I can't. But yeah, when you're trying to serve people like that, or yeah, babe, incidentally, that doesn't bother me more because I know it sounds harsh, but the amount of EMF that's going into their brain, it's hitting red. If I got my K2 meter out and put it towards your phone when it's making a phone call, the lights it literally blasts like mad, like it's Chernobyl or something. I mean, because you are essentially microwaving your brain. Hence, because they say mobile phones are safe. Yeah, no, they're safe in your pocket. That's why they invented Bluetooth. Bluetooth is not just specifically for cars or businessmen or anything like that. It's so you can actually make phone calls whilst having your device in your pocket, because it's not going to do your leg that much harm. I'm not sure what it does to your cells, but in terms of anything else, but it's not going to. It's a lot less harmful, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? When you just got it in your pocket, it's not doing much. When you actually make a phone call, get a K2 meter, like that you see on the ghost thing, the red lights that picks up EMF, and put it against your phone, and that's what you're doing to your brain. So I just go. People go, "Oh, it's so rude, isn't it?" When they do that when you're trying to serve them, and I just say to them, "I know it sounds horrible, but at the end of the day, they're frying their brain."
A subscriber wrote to my email telling me about a disturbing moment that occurred in the middle of rescuing a dog from a burning house. The newscast showed the spectacular maneuver that a young man carried out to get the animal from the second floor of the house. Everyone had abandoned the building, as they always gave priority to people, and the last thing left inside was this puppy, which due to the flames, no one dared to rescue, except for this brave young man. However, at the same moment that this was happening, to the side, just a few centimeters away, the image shows something completely bewildering. Pay attention.
I wouldn't say that's paranormal, but that does show that someone else is in the building.
The young man's action is so spectacular that few people at that time notice that strange figure that appears to one side. Zooming in, we see a woman stretching out her arms with an unclear intention, and all this at speed that is barely perceptible. But the most incredible of all is that according to Indira, there was no one else in the house apart from the dog. In fact, no fatalities were recorded because fortunately, by this time, there was no one else inside. Could it have been a spirit who tried to intervene in this rescue? Tell me what you think. Number 2.
Okay, that is interesting. Because you'd find bodies, ash, or something. You know what I mean? That's interesting.
I always get dozens of...
Because, to be fair, before anyone mentioned it, I noticed someone at the window. It was like, oh, look, there's someone there.
videos by email that claim to show the most impressive things on live television. Some have nothing paranormal, and others you can tell by far that it's fake. At first, this video was going to occupy this position. A woman who was supposedly the victim of a possession in the middle of a program. Her performance is definitely forced, and that obligated me to keep browsing my email in search of better content. This is how I came across footage that left me speechless. It doesn't matter how much I rewind the video that you're about to see, I still cannot find a logical explanation for the event. You see, Me Late is a Chilean program that focuses on humor and fun. There is no room here for the paranormal context. Vanya Baile is the name of the subscriber who sent me this material. She tells me that while watching episode 25 of this program on YouTube, she noticed that one of the trophies that the driver has on his table turns in a way that is too strange. So strange that it even defies all logic. Watch the video and try to find a logical explanation.
Maravilloso, seguimos con el Me Late a través de...
Not necessarily defies logic, because it could be what it does. It could be because he's got a puppet there, so it could be a part of the animation. It could be a plant. Oh, in this course, we know more about the background TV show. I mean, because he could have a plant. Oh, hello, Mr. Weedle. You know what I mean? So we don't know. It could be batch powered. It could be part of the prop. You know what I mean? So it's hard to tell that one. To be fair, I mean, he's talking to a puppet, so it could be a character on a battery ran thing. You know what I mean? We don't know.
Watching the video in slow motion, you can see that it first makes a small, subtle movement to our right before turning energetically to the left. The trophy is too heavy for the wind from the air conditioner to move it. The host of the show doesn't touch it, and the table doesn't move.
Hang on a second, I thought it was about a woman who's possessed. We didn't see it.
Either. The only reasonable explanation that I find is that the driver, when moving this piece of paper, one of the ends of it slides underneath and manages to move it. However, what does not make any sense with this hypothesis is that it moves so slightly that I'm not sure that a sheet of paper can do it without making the structure rock back and forth.
But we don't know what it could be made of resin. It may look metallic, but it could be made of resin. We don't know. It could be a very light object. The bottom bit could be hollow.
What do you think? Do you think this movement is due to the paper? Or maybe something much more inexplicable?
To be fair, it does move the same time he moves the paper. And we all know, because you see in life hacks as well, if you can't move, say, a large bit of furniture, you put a towel underneath it, and you pull the towel, and it moves the thing along, or blanket, or whatever. So it's paper.
Happened here. Number 1. We conclude this video with a disturbing footage sent from Mexico by Luis Fernando, a faithful subscriber who sent me a video corresponding to a section of the nightly news, where the presenter announced the unfortunate murder of a woman.
I thought they were going to show the woman possessed, never mind.
The moment the story finishes, the camera returns to the studio. It was then that something was seen behind her that for Luis was extremely disturbing. Observe.
Mañana va a continuar esta audiencia. Y mañana va a continuar esta audiencia. Y mañana va a continuar esta audiencia. Y
Unexpectedly, a figure is seen for a few moments. Perhaps it could be someone from the cleaning staff or an employee from the press department. However, and as strange as it may sound, for the woman's relatives, that figure is very similar to her silhouette, contemplating as if she were another witness to the news of her own death. Could this be true? Let me know what you think in the comment box, because this video has come to an end. My name is Leonore Clay, and this was The Darkest Secret.
No, thanks, Leonore. Good video. Yeah, myth. Yeah, some of them can be explained, but yeah, I think the one that's paper, because yeah, it's heavy, but again, it's that thing in it when you want to move furniture, you put ink underneath, it moves it. So yeah, but no, really good video. Darkest Secret. Go check it out in the description below. If you thanks for watching this with me. Let me know what you think in the comments below. What do you think about the thing moving, etc. What are your thoughts on each of these clips? And if you like this video, hit the like. And if you haven't subscribed, then please do. It'll be awesome to have you with us. And yes, and as another YouTuber pointed out, and it's so true, it doesn't cost you anything. So, and I've got I'm not chewing you off. I've generally got a feeling in my bones that you are awesome, and you must have been awesome to sit through this. You know what I mean? Because a lot of people just watch it, go, "There's shit," and then go, you know what I mean? But you've stayed, so I got a feeling in my bones you're awesome. So you've put up with it. And I know there's a lot of reaction videos out there, but I like to think at least I'm going to add my different bit to it, because I'm not. The stereotypical, oh my god, yes, it does take a lot to freak me out. I mean, if you look at some of my old videos, there are bits where it's like, oh, that did actually, I get some videos I actually get chicken on my legs and just all over my body in weird places. So yeah, thanks again, and I shall see you in the next video. Take care, and cheerio.